My name's Helen Parr. I'm the Community Engagement Officer for the BAT project. I started on the project in its pilot year, in fact, back in 2014. So I wanted to share with you some of my community engagement highlights, as well as some of the hopes for the future as the project comes to an end. So I am aware I'm the last talk of the day, so please be assured it's mostly me showing you some nice photographs, and you don't really have to think too much, and it should take only about 10 minutes. So, why bother with community engagement in the first place? Well, without involving communities near where the Greater Horseshoes live, there'll be no continuity after the project ends at the end of this year. So by focusing on Greater Horseshoe bats, people can not only help them, but other bat species, along with all other sorts of wildlife as well, in particular insects. So the benefits are there for both people and wildlife. So I'll carry on to show you some of the highlights. So a big chunk of my work over the last 5 or 6 years has been working with schools, and I've managed to run about 250 activities with different schools, sometimes the same schools. I've gone back to schools, and that's engaged thousands of pupils. And that's not even counting around 850 staff that have been involved, and hopefully the children have gone home and spread that message around to their parents and family and friends. So it's a great way of spreading the message. Our Bat Buddy Awards have been a brilliant way to reward children for their efforts by becoming a bat-friendly school, and they can work towards a bronze, silver or gold award. And the activities suggested aim to fit with the curriculum, but also include action on the ground in school grounds, but perhaps also out in their wider community. And hopefully it's lots of fun for them as well. Now, one of the great things has been taking schools and other groups outside, either into their school grounds or further afield, to find out what's happening on their doorstep and learning simple things they can do to help bats. So these primary school students here were having a great free day out, no costs, no transport costs. They walked up to a local farm from their school, and here you can see Anna telling them all about, guess what, if you were here this morning? Yes, cowpats and dung beetles. And on the right, you can see them having a good old poke about. We did use sticks, not our hands, in the dung to see what we could find. And we did find lots of dung beetles, so that was great. And we've had, I'll let you read that quote yourselves, but we've had really lovely feedback from schools about how it gets the children really enthusiastic, learning about bats and other wildlife. They're often very concerned about the climate crisis and may feel disempowered, but this allows them to become empowered to take some action locally where they can really make a difference. So if all of those thousands of children all go and do one little thing to help bats, that's a big effect overall. And so for the future, what we hope to do is get the Bat Buddy Award as an online award, so educators and teachers can go onto our website, find out about the activities and record what they've done and then download a certificate. So another great way of spreading our message is by using our bat trails and bat beacons. So the bat beacons are, the bat trails are 12 walks that have been developed specifically with good bat habitats in mind, so that people can download those from our website and go on a really nice walk in some of the priority Great Horseshoe bat areas whilst finding out about the habitats as they go. And the bat beacons are information boards and touch screens, as you can see here. We've got 2 permanent ones which you can visit at Berryhead National Nature Reserve and the Donkey Sanctuary in Sidmouth, but 3 other mobile versions, and you can see these boards at the bottom left of the slide there, are available and have been borrowed by different venues around the whole of Devon, and they've been out at about 20 different venues so far. So it's a really great way to get the message out there, and we hope that after the project, with the support of our partners, that this will continue. So we've heard from all the fantastic bat-friendly communities, and I wanted to just show you some of the photos from those communities, because using bats as a focus, people can come together to discuss and plan things in a more joined up way to improve their local environment and create a bat-friendly community. So here on the left, you can see the Bat Friendly Beer logo, which was created through a competition. That's a really good brand to have around the village, and so everybody knows what they're about. And below that, you can see some of the community in beer planting, sowing some wildflower seeds. And on the right, we've got the famous Great Horseshoe bench there with Tesla sitting on it. I'm sure that must be unique in this country, or even in the whole world, to be honest. And also there's a nice image of the bat garden below, which is close to the roost of the Greater Horseshoe bats in Chudley. Here's some work from Braunton. On the bottom right, you can see a trail around the town, and there's a little image of a pen there, and that shows us it's an audio pen which has been developed that as you walk the route, you stop at the different points and use the audio pen, and you get a little commentary about the habitats or what you're seeing and why it's good for bats. And they've also created their own batty way markers there for the bat trail, and also this bespoke viewing platform which is positioned rather handily on the flight path, so that just after the greater horseshoes leave their roost, they generally fly past here, so it's a great place to spot the bats. Also in Braunton on the right here, the parish council have been involved in some work with Life on the Verge, and they've been trying out, rather than mowing their verges really flat, they've been trying out sowing them with wildflowers and changing their cutting regime. And I think you'll agree, just looking at that image, that looks to me like it's going to be pretty good for insects. So if all these little patches of verges around all our towns and villages in Devon could look like this, I think the insects would be very grateful, and also the bats. And then on the left is the booklet and the wildflower seeds that were distributed in Gunners Lake that we heard about from Jane. And as you can see, even if someone's just got a pot with some wildflowers in, they can still do something to help the bats. And you heard from Kath about the Bubby Group and their walks, and here they are on one of their walks, sadly not this year but last year, but note their fantastic bat branded hivers jackets, so nobody will doubt who they are. And by with training from us and support from our Batworks Fund, they've managed to purchase the bat detecting equipment and learned how to use it, and I'm sure that they're better at doing that than me now, so it's great to hand that on to them. And then we heard from Pam about all the fantastic things going on in Fastly. My personal favourites are things like the bat swim, where people came and have an outdoor swim in the outdoor pool there and did some bat detecting afterwards. That was a really popular and unique event. And there's also lots of events that we've attended with stands, and there's this fantastic Greater Horseshoe Bat mural that you can see down at the bottom there, which was done in conjunction with a local artist. And by joining with the Be Wild initiative that's now in the town, this is sort of links everything together to improve biodiversity. So by getting out and about and involved in over 200 community events, we've been able to spread that message even wider, engaging tens of thousands of people. I've got Mike up there at one of our events. We've had our bat stand at different events. We've been on bat habitat walks to talk to people about what makes a good habitat for bats and why these areas are important for the bats. And we've had volunteer get-togethers like the one at the bottom there. And at these events, we always obviously try and have lots of cake, which seems to keep people there for the whole session. Volunteers have been integral to the project, be it getting stuck into practical events to learn a new skill, such as hedge laying, orchard planting, or even scything, as you can see in the photos below. Up 3,000 people have been involved in citizen science through the Devon Bat Survey and the research surveys, which is just absolutely fantastic. And also people have had the chance to go along to 60 practical events to gain new skills that they can hopefully use into the future. And we've also done a number of training events, either train the trainer, which is passing that knowledge on to other educators who can share it, or training people to do things like bat data analysis, or how to run a bat walk, for example. So the confidence and knowledge these volunteers now have is a wonderful testament to the level of interest in the project and bodes really well for the future. And in terms of the number of hours logged, about 20,000 volunteer hours over the project, this provides an in-kind benefit to the project of around £200,000, which is just amazing. So we're really, really grateful. And finally, our website and social media platforms have been a brilliant way of allowing us to connect with other groups of people. For example, subscribers to our website have received regular e-newsletters, keeping them up to date. And there's our videos and our downloads page there, which has our management guides, information for schools, and our bat trails and things, bat-friendly gardening and so on, and also videos from the bat roost and our project films, the ones that you've seen today. And so at the end of the project, we're going to keep the website will be maintained as part of ongoing legacy work so that people will be able to access these resources whenever they need them. So it'll be all in one place, hopefully. And other wider publicity over the project has included interviews on Radio Devon, as well as appearances on BBC Spotlight. And Anna was actually out filming with Countryfile earlier this week, and so look out for us if you're a Countryfile viewer. Apparently it should be on the 4th of October, so fingers crossed some of you will catch that. And we've done lots of evaluations so we can learn from and share the knowledge of the project. One of those has been an online survey, and through that we found that over 80% of people felt they'd learned something new about greater horseshoe bats through the project, and nearly 90% said they'll do at least one thing for greater horseshoe bats in the future. So this indicates to me that levels of awareness have increased, and more importantly, that people want to take action to help. And so how do we ensure that all this enthusiasm continues? Well, through our broad reach and emphasis on training and sharing knowledge, we hope that a lot of the information has become embedded in people's awareness. And so people like the bat-friendly communities, hopefully they now have the tools and expertise to take this message into the future. So I'll just finish with huge thanks again to all our volunteers, partners and funders for all their support, and special mention to Devon Wildlife Trust as the lead partner and the National Osprey Heritage Fund as our main funder. And now it's time soon it'll be time to pass the baton to everyone we've worked with during the project. Thank you for your support and enthusiasm.